Well, U.S. Representative Ashley Hinson's support for federal legislation reducing Medicaid growth has sparked local debate in Iowa. Now, she's opposed the status quo of the Affordable Care Act, voting against extending premium tax subsidies and instead shifting towards health savings accounts. Now, Democratic critics and advocacy groups argue these policy shifts jeopardize care, reduce long-term resources, and create funding shortages or wait lists for vulnerable Iowans. Today, she visited the Plymouth County Fair, where KTLA was able to ask if things have gotten better.
Benefits are designed for people who absolutely need them, and we want to make sure people who need Medicaid get it. But we want to make sure people who are gaming the system or people who are here illegally are not getting those benefits. So that's the change we made, and I think it's work requirements are very popular amongst the Iowans I've been out talking to in the state. If you're going to take a taxpayer benefit, you should be working.
She also added that Republicans made it very, very easy to qualify for not only Medicaid, but also for SNAP. Congresswoman Hinson is up against Democratic State Representative Josh Turek of Council Bluffs in the Senate race. Both are running to replace retiring Republican Senator Joni Ernst.